Well, hey, welcome back to the HC Conversations podcast. This is our final episode of the season. My name is Paul.
I'm Phil.
And today we are just going to do a little recap of where we've been.
Yes.
So we're going to take a break for the summer. We'll be back in September with
a fresh season.
Yeah, we're going to be really fresh this fall. But it's been
You're making a really large promise.
I know.
So now we have to come back this fall with something like some content.
But no, we just wanted to do a brief recap of where we've been this season because we've had some fun conversations. So.
Yeah. So well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so where did we start this thing? We started this season of the HC Conversation podcast, it looks like, with our story.
Yeah, we spent 3 episodes talking about the Hope Community story, unpacking kind of like how we got started, what happened before, what was the impetus for starting the Hope Community, then just the journey of starting this church.
It's a journey, man. It's just a journey. And coincidentally, or not coincidentally, apparently it's what the people like. I believe episode 1 of us doing the story series was the most viewed and listened to episode of this season on the podcast.
Cool.
So
hey,
y'all like that, apparently.
I was going to say, if you guys want more of that, let us know, and we can figure out some more stories to tell.
Story time. We're just going to turn the podcast into story time.
That's right. This isn't in sequential order, but we talking about story. We also had some listener questions that we unpacked. We talked about is Jesus the only way, and then what about hell, and is God going to send people to hell?
Yeah.
So we unpacked that over the course of 2 different episodes.
Yeah, because kind of flowing out of that, then we talked about, okay, so like, what are the different views on hell?
Right.
Yeah. Let's see, what else did we hit? We talked about is the New Testament reliable? You know, is that something that we can trust? We also talked a little bit about some cultural issues. So we have this one called Cultural Collision. I almost thought it said collusion. Collusion. Cultural Collision. Do you remember what the Cultural Collision episode was about?
Was it the Grammys?
Yeah, it was the Grammys. That was one of the things.
Jesus Revolution, because it was...
not quite Jesus
Revolution. The ad campaign.
Yeah, He Gets Us.
He Gets Us.
Yep, He Gets Us.
It was about Jesus. But it was like
always about Jesus.
2 weeks back to back. The Grammys one week, the Super Bowl the next week, and sandwiched in between we had the Asbury Revival. Is that correct?
That is correct. I don't have a prize for you, but good job. Round of applause. Yeah. So
the prize is making me feel good.
Yeah. There was a couple week period where it seemed like Christian thought and some culture war stuff around Christianity was like very front and center in
for sure.
kind of mainstream media of those things that you talked about. And so we talked about that. What else did we talk about this season, Paul?
We talked about, is the church good for the world? Again, kind of talking about some of the cultural things, because in that episode we unpacked the fact that it seems like there is just this undercurrent in society that the church isn't good for the world. And so we looked at, well, is Christianity, is the church good for the world? And why might people say it's not good for the world?
I believe, if memory serves me correct, that we actually, your microphone...
I know my microphone does not want to stand up today.
Did we actually busted out a good deal of statistics in that episode?
Yeah, I think we did.
About like the good that the church does in the world.
Yep.
And then it looks like, if I'm looking at my list correctly, the final episode, and again, these weren't in order that we talked about, we had a grab bag episode that we just aptly titled, Isn't It Ironic?
Don't you think?
Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think. So in that one, I'm just looking at the episode description, trying to refresh my memory. It says, changing our mind. I think we kind of like, you know what? Because here's, some of y'all, you're great and we love you. And you're like, yeah, we're listening to the podcast. And we're like, this is a couple years old. I don't know what I said 3 years ago. And so there's just this reality. And I think this is a good place to be as humans, where we change our mind on things. We may not think what we thought. We're just processing.
This was our episode that would have been like an asterisk after the description or something of the podcast. So it's just like, hey, we're human beings, and we learn, and as a result of learning new things, we might change our mind on things that maybe we said in the past.
Yeah.
Which, in talking to some of you that listen to the podcast and you quoting things back to us that we said, it's like,
I said that?
I don't remember saying that, but okay, I do agree with that.
I agree. So I still agree with myself sometimes. And also in that episode, we talked about, and I think this is where the "isn't it ironic" part came from, the kind of the war against kind of like traditionalism and traditional institutions and things, and this kind of postmodern culture we find ourselves in. And the ironic thing is that we want the benefits of some of our traditional institutions and things that we used to hold of high value,
Right.
while at the same time undermining them.
Mhm.
And so it's ironic.
It's funny because we talk about that, it seems like every week,
Yeah.
some aspect of that.
It's the waters we swim
Just
in.
as,
man.
you know, we hear the news and we just look at our culture and it's just like, come on, people, don't you realize that institutions aren't necessarily bad?
Yeah.
That if we tear everything down, then what do we have left? 'Cause we don't have a good foundation to build upon.
You know what
So-
the best foundation to build upon is?
What is that?
That would be Jesus.
Oh,
You know, he is the chief cornerstone.
that's right. We could just start singing right now.
Oh,
but-
yeah, we could, but we're not going to. I think that was all the episodes from this year.
Yeah, that was the season. So, in the meantime, Phil, this summer,
9. This is perfect. We did 9 episodes, and this is episode 10. That just feels right.
it does
doesn't
feel right.
That's
Good way to close.
It feels so right.
So what are you doing this summer?
What am I doing this summer? You know, no big plans, honestly. Like, I don't think we have like a vacation on the schedule or anything like that. Just hanging out, spending lots of time outside, swimming in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
I got some, you know me, got projects I still got to get done outside, and that'll
Oh, yeah.
take up a lot of my summer. But yeah, just this summer, kind of relaxing, enjoying time with family and friends. Actually, I was telling you earlier, the kids were already in the pool. They were in the pool yesterday, which was what, the 14th? May 14th. Braxton was like, "Can I swim?" And it was nice out yesterday, but the pool's not warm yet. Okay, I mean, I told him like, yes, you can swim, but once your lips start turning blue, it's time to take a break. But he loved it, so there's gonna be a lot of that this summer. Yeah. What about you? What do you get into this summer?
So we are kicking off summer with a kind of pre-summer vacation because it's before Memorial Day. So we're leaving for vacation here in a couple days.
It's a good time to go. Not as many people.
Yeah, not as many people. School's not out yet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Trust me. Good time to go. And then having a baby in August. So there's that to
There's
close
that.
out the summer.
It's kind of a big deal.
It is kind of a big deal. In between those two things, not any real big plans. Just, enjoy the beautiful weather. Enjoy the yard.
Yeah.
Enjoy the tastes of summer.
Enjoy. Oh,
Fresh
yeah.
produce. Strawberry season's coming up.
Man.
So
But I'll say maybe 3 things. 3 things. You said the taste of summer that's just like, you just can't beat. Fresh strawberries,
No.
sweet corn, and good like watermelon. You know what I mean? And when it's hot in the summer, I mean, at least for me, like those 3 things, I'm like, yes. Plus lots of grilled and smoked meats, but
I was.
those don't grow on a plant.
I mean, kind of indirectly.
Oh, it's a circle of life.
right.
That's right. Yeah.
Watermelon would be down here on that list.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy a good watermelon, but it's not
They're
like
rare, though.
high up.
It's like, I feel like usually watermelon just disappoints me. Because it's like, oh, this is going to be good. And it's like, man. Another one of those things that my kids, though, oh my goodness. They'll live on watermelon.
Yeah.
Like crazy, summertime especially. But yeah, so that's what's coming up for us this summer. It's going to be a good summer at Hope Community. So, love for you to stick with us, hanging out here at the church, and fun stuff coming up throughout the summer.
Right.
A couple teaching series. Hey, that's something that's going on between your vacation and you having a baby.
Yeah, I thought about that the other week. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I need to get started on
Yeah,
that.
Paul's gonna be
because it
doing
will be
some,
here before I know it.
Be doing some teaching. It's gonna be a fun series. So
We're gonna have Father's Day coming up.
we
and,
just had Mother's Day yesterday.
yep,
Father's Day's
Father's
coming
Day, and we're going to have a church picnic in a couple weeks.
up. Picnic.
Boo boo. Picnic basket. But I think that's about it.
That is.
It's happening out around here at Hope Community. We hope to see you guys at one of our Sunday morning gatherings. Thanks so much for sticking with us, for being part of our team here.
Yeah. For making us, encouraging us to do this.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you actually watch this, or many of you do. It's like, okay, I guess we gotta keep making podcasts.
Great. And some of you have joked about hate mail, and that has not come yet. So we're
Yeah.
waiting for that.
Slackers. We're waiting for our hate mail.
So no, please keep your questions coming.
Yeah.
Because that will help us as we start planning for the fall what we're going to talk about.
Right, because
And,
we're going to spend the summer planning out episodes. So
Right.
if you've got questions, stuff you want us to tackle in the upcoming season, send that our way.
Yep. All right. So that's a wrap for this season of the HC Conversations podcast. We'll see you back here in September. In the meantime, see you on Sunday.